Banana and Bears Rugby Pod.
And every week, hello everybody. Annie every week has a moniker, a name she picks, and there's always some funny, whether it's Eddie Jones or it's Jack Neobar or some player that she's been Faf de Klerk. She's been everything every week, but there's always something in the telling of that. Like, but this week, all that pops up has Locksmith has joined the. I'm guessing that isn't like
Has joined the chat.
isn't another name for that they use in Australia. You know, like they use he's just a 4/15, and they're talking about like a fullback or whatever. A locksmith isn't actually a position in rugby. You've had a pain in your hole, but it sounds things of. Let's unbox that, Anna. Let's unbox your weekend.
I blame Leinster.
I before you go any further, I was hosting a thing on Friday night, and I actually thought of you. It was in Dublin's city centre, just off Grafton Street, and it was, in all fairness, it was right good crack to host. They were up for, but it was a law firm that was like 100 years old. They had like 600 employees or something, and it wasn't a gala dinner thing. Like, they're all really going out of fashion now. It's just people want fucking beer and wild fucking crack and have the piss taken out of them, and that's what I was doing. But you should and 90% of the people were sound out. And maybe they were all sound out, but you should have seen some of the lads, the absolute lads. To show, like, you walk straight out of a Ross Carl Kelly book. Like, these people, you don't exist, really. Do you exist? And you're like, and then I said to Fidget, it was the most unbelievable. These people are incredible. But your beloved La Rochelle, obviously fell on the sword that was Leinster this weekend, but that's not really what's troubling you, Anna. Sure, it's not.
No, it isn't. But you're talking there about characters walking out of Ross Carl Kelly. But can you imagine that all weekend in La Rochelle?
Oh my God.
So strange. Like, I took a lot of videos because I found it so. It was like watching animals in a zoo.
Because they don't seem real, do they?
Yeah, and like I was trying to kind of explain to, like, a French fella I was chatting to, like, the difference between, like, if Leinster descends on a town or if Munster descends on a town. It's probably, every province would be slightly different maybe, but just the difference in the Leinster fans is just gas. Like, just couldn't be more fucking, it's stereotypes, we shouldn't stereotype, but my God.
But they do, they are their own species in that they're not even like something from Dublin. Do you know what I mean? Or from the province of Leinster. Like, you won't hear many Carlow accents or many Meath accents.
To say, I did enjoy, like, there was, this is all part of the story as well. I did quite a lot of talking to a lot of Leinster fans this weekend, and I was I quite enjoyed the variety, the diversity, I suppose, of Leinster fan which was around. But the ones who fall under the stereotype, they fortified it in many ways.
There was no, oh my God, I've been so wrong for so long.
No, it's like, oh my God, I've been so right always, and don't ever think anything other than Carl Kelly again. But now, very pleasant. Right, well, I suppose we'll go through the series of events of the weekend.
Okay. Do we start at your match? Because there's, by the way, go to Anna's Instagram. They were class pictures. There was a great one. You looked like I was trying to think of the animal that kind of is peeking up, like this predator, like something like a fucking tiger coming up from behind the fucking bush, and something's going to get eaten. You're just your eyes, and it's a great shot, and your two plats are running back on your head. I went, fuck! It's just a class shot. You're just coming up from the back of a scrum. You just got the number 8 typically has that last look, nearly like before driving the bus. The number 8 has a last look before, right? In we go. And it's that shot. It was a great shot. And then there's one where you're steaming up the fucking pitch. It's class.
Yeah. There's always photographers around. Like, I must say, the club does things so well in so many ways, and like the support that'd be out watching, the women's games, the youth games, like is something something to behold. And I was even chatting to someone today about it, like just La Rochelle and any kind of small town that has a big rugby team and a big rugby culture is just so cool. I just
That's
love
class.
it so much. I love it so much. And just, I got a real sense of, you know, the World Cup. And I was so depressed when the World Cup ended and everybody left La Rochelle. And all the Irish people had left. It was so sad. So it was nice to have an Irish crowd back in town again.
Albeit.
So anyway, I'm about to find out. I think I'm about to find out who it was that upturned my weekend as well. But I'll get to that. Friday night after training, because we were playing on Saturday, we kind of finished early enough. We train usually Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday night. And Friday night's always kind of a captain's run, and you go through and brush up your detail before playing on the Sunday. But this weekend we were playing on Saturday, so training was short enough. I called into McNulty's pub on the way home because I wanted to watch the Connacht match, and I have no channels in my house. And I don't know if you've noticed, but all of the, you know, the illegal rugby channel I was watching last year, that has disappeared somehow. Like, I just don't know how to watch the matches. So
Right.
yeah. And I know dodgy box or nothing. Like, and so I just went into the pub to watch the Connacht game because I'm doing co-coms for Off the Ball this weekend for Connacht. So I wanted to watch it, yes. And went into the pub, met some lads, chatted to them, and watched the match. That was that, home to bed. Saturday, the day of the match. I need to tell you about the match as well. But I'll come back to the match because we can finish on a high note. Saturday then, we got back from the game late from tour, so got into like La Rochelle about 12 o'clock at night. And I went straight to the pub because I was like, fuck it, there's Irish in town, there'll be crack to be had. Went into McNulty's, chatted away to like loads of fans, like people from St. Mary's, like Rugby Club and Malahide. Where else were people from? Scaries. And you know, it's so easy to chat to people, like, you know, just like, oh, you're over for the match, what's the crack, where are you from? Met some lovely people now, like, and pure dubs, and people from like Kilkenny and Carlow, and great crack. Anyway, the pub was closing at 2, and they were like, oh, General Humbert's, which is the other Irish pub, is open till 4. And I said, I'll be charitable and I'll show you where to go, i.e. go for a pint myself.
Yeah.
Because it was nice to have played on a Saturday and have Sunday off. So I was like, go out. Like, brought the lads over to the pub, locked my bike outside the pub. Now, which is dodgy enough, everyone has told me, like, don't leave your bike on the street in La Rochelle, even if it's locked. They go around all night, clipping off the locks and taking bikes. So I was like wary of leaving my bike there, but I was like, it'll be grand. It's busy enough. I don't think, I'll only be here like an hour or so. Went in, great crack, met the lads that I had met the night before, had great crack chatting to fucking people from Leinster. I was taking videos of them like dancing and stuff, and they're all in their berets, and they were singing like, Allez les bleus, allez les bleus. Do you know, like, fucking, you know the way.
Yeah.
Fair play to them. Great fan. Anyway, I go home. My jacket's gone. My Gloucester rugby jacket. I was like, for fuck's sake, that's so annoying. My jacket. Anyway, let the worries of the world go with it. Slán, see you later. And I again was being tour guide and bringing people to the nightclub. Got to the nightclub, couldn't let us in. Some people were dying for a piss. I was like, we're literally right outside my house. Come up to my house and go for a whiz. Group of about 5 or 6 people. And I go to let us all into my house.
Oh no.
The keys.
Oh no.
My house are in the pocket of my jacket that was taken from the pub. So.
Oh my God. Yeah, this is the post I saw, and I didn't even want to message it because I said,
yeah.
There's nothing I can fucking do.
But like the thing was, the Irish pub was full of Leinster fans. Like, I just knew someone had taken it by accident. Like, it's not a jacket that you'd steal. There wasn't anyone in there that would steal anything. You know, like,
it's an obscure team. Like, it'd be another thing if it was a La Rochelle jacket, you go, or a Munster jacket, or It was an
And
obscure
everyone,
team, like nothing to do with the occasion. Like,
yeah, and also there's a big rip in the armpit. Like it's in an awful way. Anyway, I was like, oh fuck. But I was like, someone will hand it back. I found a place to stay, which was like, oh my God, had so much anxiety, couldn't sleep. And then I like, first thing I did, woke at about 8 o'clock, emailed the Leinster Supporters Club. Because I knew they had a trip over. There was a lot of people over with it, and they emailed me back straight away. They said they put out a message. I messaged the pub. I messaged a few other people. I tweeted, and I was just basically saying like, please just check if you took my jacket. Like, and at the end of the night, people's jackets were everywhere. Do you know, like it was just one of those things.
Yeah.
Like someone just picked it up, and it wasn't raining, so I'd say they just kept it in their hand, got back to their hotel, and flung it in the corner, kind of a thing. So anyway, next day, thank God there was rugby on, because it meant the pub was open early, and went in. Your man, the owner of General Humbert's, what a legend. Thank God for helpful and wonderful, lovely people. His name is Nico. He studied, I was asking him, like, why did you choose the name General Humbert's? He did a semester in IT Carlow fucking years ago.
Right.
And his dad came to visit, and they went to a pub in Mayo, and some man in Mayo heard them talking in French, and he was like, oh, I have French ancestry. He has some French surname, but this Irish fella like is a French surname, because some French troops departed from La Rochelle and arrived in Mayo in 1770, whatever, can't remember, 1792, I think. And General Humbert was the leader, and that's what the name of the pub. Like,
brilliant.
fucking
Great
love
tie-in.
stories like that. Oh God, and it just was so great, and he was so lovely and so helpful. Oh Jesus, I'm not sure. Oh no, you're still there.
Yo, you're back. You're all right.
Sorry. I'll get to the point.
Things are
I'll get to
heating
the
up
point.
here, people.
Nico was like, give me your number and I'll call you if anything turns up. And I was like, I literally have nowhere to go. So I'm going to sit here in the pub for the day and wait for this person to come back with my jacket. Had to sit there, wait, like literally watching everyone come in the door. Nico gave me a coffee. He gave me a pint of Guinness. The people at the bar were so kind, like, you know, trying to help me figure it out and whatever. And no sign of the jacket. It's coming close to kick-off time. I was like, right, I'm going to go to the match. And hopefully, by the time I come back, someone will have brought it back, handed it in. No luck. Can't get into my house, by the way. I'm still in my post-match attire from Saturday, and I'm now going to the Heineken Cup game on the Sunday. Sorry, the Champions Cup game on the Sunday. Stinking, like, I'm sure I wasn't actually stinking, but I just, you know, I felt like I was stinking.
You hadn't been in home. That's the thing. You want to get in home to, you know.
Been in home. Like, thank God I had my charger with me and stuff like that. No sign of the jacket. Can't get into my house. Find somewhere to stay. Again, people are so kind, like, and people looked after me, and someone loaned me their jacket, and people were offering me places to stay, and oh God, like, people are just, you know, people are great, and like, nothing, no sign. And I went around to literally every group of Leinster fans being like, lads, I'm so sorry to interrupt. Were you here last night? My jacket was there. If you happen to take it, and people were messaging in the forums, like, the whole fucking place was looking for my jacket. No luck. This morning, Nico, again, because he works and he owns an Irish pub here. He knew a good locksmith, and locksmith came, got everything sorted. You know, it's obviously costly, but obviously worth it. Finally get into my house today. I missed my morning of work, so I got out to work late in the afternoon, but they're very understanding. Just got back there now, got an extra key cut for the front door, had to wait outside for the neighbour to get home from work. Finally in my house, have everything sorted. But what time is it now? It's about 3 minutes before I clicked on the Zoom link message.
Yeah.
Jacket.
Fuck. Who, where, what, how?
It's been handed into the pub, so I need to go back and find out who it was. But, so yeah. Not like it matters. It's not, doesn't fucking matter now anyway. So
it was obviously, like you said, under somebody's old arm, and they fucked it in under. It might have even been a French person. Might have been like just fucked it. You know.
yeah, was thinking that,
Half
but the
cut.
Leinster fans were drunk, like, as they should be. That's not a, oh, for fuck's sake. They were the ones that were more likely to take it, just so, because there was so many of them, and, they were langers as they should have been, and having great crack, and just fucking picked it up. So I must go back now and find out who it was. We were looking back at the cameras and everything, like trying to pick people out. So there we go. Weekend locked out of my house. No knickers.
What? So was the bike still there? Did they rob the bike?
The bike, yes, it was. I literally was like, I can't unlock my bike because my keys are in the pocket of the. Yeah. So, and I was like, for fuck's sake, I know it's not a real problem, like, and there are real problems in the world, but, and like, I held it together fairly well, and like, I was like, for fuck's sake, oh, it's so annoying, but whatever, life goes on. I've been through many things like this, and also, I started thinking about the sardines I ate in Bordeaux, and I was like, you know what, and things could be an awful lot worse.
Yeah, you sidestepped a bullet there.
Yeah.
Like, this was...
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. So, you know what, whatever, it was just so annoying. I just wanted to get into my house. And anyway, I fucking, after the match, I was like, I really need a toothbrush.
Yeah.
Power walked to the, what's it called? The supermarket.
Supermarket.
It was closing at 7:30, huh?
Oh no, that's in Spain, isn't it? They call them supermarkets.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, yeah. This one's called Monoprix. So fucking power walk to Monoprix was like fucking floored it. Was like, knew I'd beat Google's suggested time by a few minutes. Got to the door 22 minutes past 7, and it closed at 7:30. And they were like, no, sorry, like, it's finished, like, it's not. And I was like, but you close at past. He was like, no, we close at 15:15. I was like, you don't. It says it on the door. Look, 30 minutes past. Like, I just need a toothbrush, please. And he was just like, no. And I just broke down. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
The toothbrush that broke the camel's back. And I was bawling, crying on the street. It was just like, oh, this is so shit. But there was a fella in a convenience store called Tobias who sold me a toothbrush. So Tobias has rescued the day.
Brilliant. Fucking hell. The toothbrush that broke the camel's back. I actually love that. It was Jesus. I mean, do you know what? There was a hint of that panic came over me at the weekend. I did 2 shows Friday and Saturday. I went down home after each because they were finished by like 10 o'clock. So I wasn't going to fucking hang around. Dublin. So I wasn't, but at the same time, people were like, would you not stay up? I'm like, it takes an hour and 40 minutes to get home. What the fuck? Like, no. But like the traffic situation in Dublin, oh my God. And I said, look, because the Saturday night one was in the Radisson Blu Convention Centre, which is just off of off of Ainger Street, kind of Georgia Street. I said, I'll put it in Stephen's Green Shopping Centre. Well, fuck me. There was a 3-floor queue of cars to come out of it, a 3-floor queue of cars getting into it. This is on like 7 o'clock on a Saturday night. Like, you go, what the fuck is going on? Finally got parked up the whole lot, and got down, did the show or whatever, came back, and it said a panic came over me because you can't find online what time these things close at, because I've been caught before. I got caught. Yeah. It was just after, we'll say, the pandemic and stuff. I went back to a car park that used to stay open all night, and it was closed after being in the laughter lounge, like gates down.
Oh,
rang the buzzer, and thank fucking hell, lad was like, "How are you?" I was just, "How are you?" Because he could see that I wasn't a mental or outside the door. I says, "Man, this place used to be open all night." He goes, yeah, but since the old pandemic, it's closed now. I went, yeah, but I'm going home to Tipperary. I said, I can't. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Jesus. And in fairness, he took a 20 quid tip and left me out the fucking door. But this was looking the same way, because I walked out and it was like, I Googled it again, and it was the shopping centre was closing at 7. I'm like, what? No, it's 10 to 7. What the fuck? And I went to running back up, and it's in a tiny 24 hour. Get back up. After the show, go back up to the thing. Just sitting into the car. Next thing, every light in the entire car park shuts off. Boom, 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 boom. Like, no, 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 no. You took my money at the fucking thing. You took my money at the. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm literally about to sit into the car. Like, what the fuck? No. Oh fuck. Like, am I? And immediately I'm going, right. I guess I'm sleeping in the fucking car till this thing opens. And I'm going. It's like pitch black. Not even like generator lights or anything. Like, bollocks. I'm there, right? Do I just start walking and seeing, is it a problem, or can I get out of this fucking thing? Just about to start walking, feeling along, but we're talking about feeling the bonnets of cars, like to get to the stairwell, like
Jesus.
yeah, just to see are we locked for the night or what's the story at 10 o'clock? And just I get to like the stairwell, boom, 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 all the lights come back on, sprint back to the car. So I don't give a fuck at this stage. I'm getting down to the fucking gate and they're opening the fucking thing. And yeah, get down to the gate, and I mean the slowest gate. Like for ages, it's like, we'll open the gate now any second now. And you're like, how are you in business in operating like this? But it was that moment of panic where I'm like, I guess I'm sleeping in the fucking car now. Yeah, great, fuck's sake. But nothing to the extent. I know exactly what you're talking about, though. Just being locked out, and you're like, I just the tiny comforts that are needed to make you function are all locked away just up there. Like that, like you said, you can't fucking wash your teeth. You can't. Oh Lord, you're lucky you were in. Do you know what I mean? You had enough familiarity with people in the place that you found a place to sleep, that you weren't just kind of staying up all night, which has happened maybe where you just got to stay up all night until.
Yeah. Joining the homeless people on the streets. So many
Yeah.
homeless people here in La Rochelle. I'd be like going over to them, like, sorry to interrupt. Can I just snuggle up here next to you?
Snuggle up there.
And like that's the thing. Do you know, at least I have a house to be fucking locked out of, do you know? Like
yeah. So finish the weekend on a high for me. Let's go back to Saturday when those class photographs popped up. You were playing tour.
Yes.
How was it?
So the girls had told me that tour aren't very strong.
Okay.
So I think we changed up the team quite a bit. So it was like, you know, kind of perceived that it would be not easy, but that we should definitely be winning it by a good score, kind of a thing. And arrived late enough, and it's dark now, and we don't play many games in the dark anymore, or many evening games, like so. It was actually really enjoyable, and it was on a grass pitch. Which
Why, have you been
nice.
playing a lot of 4Gs? Have you?
I feel like I haven't played in grass in ages now. To be fair, there's grass in Stade Marcel de Flandre in the actual, you know, stadium, which we played a few weeks ago. But it's not like this. This was like, it was in good condition, but it's mucky. Like,
yeah,
you know,
nice, yeah.
Yeah, nice, lovely, soft ground. You can fucking tackle hard into it. You can land hard, like you can slide and stuff. It was kind of raining as well, which was so cool about it. Like the whole fucking town was out with their pitchforks and fucking flamethrowers, like abusing us.
Great.
Abusing us. I loved it.
I love that.
I thought it was fucking brilliant. I was like, this is so cool. And like, if they get a penalty, they're like, you know, fucking yes, like, come on, the girls. Like, I'd say it was the men's senior team that was out, like, absolutely abusing us. And anyway, it was 0-0 at half time, and our coaches were very unhappy. Like, they absolutely lost it with us at half time, and like a few of the players absolutely lost it. But like, to be fair, you know, we changed our team quite a bit. I thought that Tour played really well. Like, you know, it's a shame that it was 0-0, but it actually had been like not too bad. And like, it, you know, they were kind of saying like, you know, we didn't turn up because it was Tour, but I was like, I thought we were playing well. And like, you know, especially me now, I was saying last week, I really was kind of excited to put things right. So, you know, thought I was playing well. So I was like, Jesus, like, I don't know. Anyway, for first 2 minutes, second half, right? They got a penalty and they kicked to touch. And I was standing on the touchline, and it would have been perfect if I had caught the ball. I could have played on, like, as in catching it over the line, but I was standing in field. So I should have caught it, but some fella standing next to me starts like shouting at me in French, leave it. and it panicked me because I kind of thought it was like one of our coaches, saying to me, like, leave it. So I took my hands away because I kind of panicked. And the fucking ball bounced out right in front of my face and they won the penalty. And your man starts laughing. And I went right up to his face and gave him the middle finger.
Yeah.
And the whole stand, and him included, went, like,
class.
they just weren't expected, all hitting their faces dropped. And I was like, oh my God, fuck, like, I'm going to get a yellow card. Like, I'm going to get sent off because I gave
back
your
it up.
man the
Back
middle
it
finger.
up.
And I like turned around and ran away and started laughing as if it was like a funny joke, which to be fair, it was too.
That was perfect.
And like, anyway, we kind of got on with it, like, and I was like, oh fuck, and it was their line out, but we turned it over. 2 minutes later, I'm running under the post to score a try.
Yeah.
And
how did you work it up the field, all the way fucking up the field?
Yeah,
2 minutes later.
Literally a couple of minutes later, like, we just fucking kicked it, or I don't know, I can't really remember what happened, or there was a break down the far side. But anyway, afterwards I wasn't sure who'd seen it or not, and I was like, oh, a bit embarrassed. Like, I was like, I hope the coaches aren't like, for fuck's sake, the physio and like a few others, like, Anna, that was my favorite moment of the whole day. You going over to man giving you the middle finger, and then 2 minutes later scoring a try.
Yeah,
it was perfect.
Fuck you.
It was perfect.
That's you backed that up. Hey, maybe that's your new persona. You know what I mean? You're in France now, the enforcer. They love that. Like, I love that they all went silent because suddenly the television came to life. Do you know what I mean? They're all screaming at this scenario that's happening. It's like shouting at the TV, and then the TV goes, "What you fucking say?" I love that. Like, you actually went up, silenced your man, silenced the crowd, and they went up and fucking scored a try. This can be your new thing, where you just go around fucking people up. Just go, I'm the scariest fucker on this pitch, and I'll even give it to the fucking audience, the crowd as well.
running past all the old ladies, like, giving them the finger.
You'd be like, what's his name? Trevor. Fuck, what's his surname? He owns a pub now in Toulouse.
Trevor Brennan.
So he went in, just started knocking the bollocks out of some fella in the audience. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Banned for life.
Yeah, I might try it out for a while, see how it goes.
He ended up owning
my New Year's resolution.
He ended up owning a pub. They love him in Toulouse for boxing the head off some fella.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's a nice. I mean, yeah, that's a great way. So you end up you won it.
Yeah, it was 0-0 at halftime. We ended up winning 38-0.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody put a rocket up your hole, or.
Yeah. We turned her around all right in the second half. It was good. I enjoyed it, and I fucking was able to kind of make up for last week, which when I was kind of still just stuck in the moment. So
class.
It was good crack. And then obviously I went out in my Stade Rochelet hoodie, because my post-match attire. So I just went out in my fucking Stade. When people were all like, why are you wearing that kind of a thing? And people are asking me where was I from Kilkenny and stuff. There was stripes on the shoulders.
Yeah.
But
but that's cool to have a good story too. It's not like you're just some dick who went off and bought just to go against Leinster. You're like, no, I actually play for Stellar. Yeah,
yes.
So
a lot of them are asking me like, will you be shouting for Leinster tomorrow? I'm like, no, like, La Rochelle's my club. And also, I really like that, even for the European Cup game now, but all the top 14 games, I think I was telling you about this, there's a number of tickets available for the women, and like the women and the academy and the underage players and the underage girls, like, we all sit together in a little block.
That's class. And
you all get to see each other. Like, I never got tickets from Munster, never got ticket from Ireland to nothing. Like, this is really like looking after your club kind of a thing. I think that's so great. Like, we never got a thing from any, like, people be asking me, when I played for Munster and Ireland stuff, if I had any kind of leads for tickets. I'm like, I can't even have a lead for a ticket myself. Like, I can't get tickets. Like, I remember watching Ireland beat the All Blacks in the Aviva and having paid like €150 for the ticket sitting up in the stand. And like, I remember that moment because I was obviously very happy for what the players themselves achieved, but I just couldn't believe that, like, I was so broke from playing rugby. I was after paying €150 for the fucking ticket. We were getting, fucking the dregs of all of everything at that time. We were just in such a bad place, and I just remember thinking like, fuck this, like, why, it was such a bad moment for me, like when the men were doing so well and we were doing so badly. I'll never forget that. But like, that's a kind of a different point I'm making, but just to kind of reinforce it, like, it's such a nice feeling to sit with everyone else of your club mates at the match.
It makes for it breeds very good, I suppose, almost like a family ethos too. Like, you know what I mean? Like the town in itself is it's punching up, that town, like, you know what I mean, for what it's doing.
Yeah.
But it's from the core of it onwards is the whole, everybody under the one umbrella. The girls, the boys, the women, the men, all year, we're all La Rochelle. It's cool. Like, I like that. So I suppose we better quickly talk about the weekends. So yeah, your men were beaten by Leinster. Finally got revenge.
Yeah. Do you know what though? I'd feel like a little bit of an Ireland at the World Cup kind of a vibe about it, in that pool games don't fucking matter.
Nah, no medals to give it out now.
I'd actually kind of give it to Leinster almost. I think they deserved it. Like, they defended brilliantly, and I wouldn't be too worried for La Rochelle as long as they can kind of, just continue to improve, because they haven't been playing that well. But like, that's okay. Like, I think they're well able to can figure it out and get to the bottom of it and change, change things around and get on an upward trajectory, and then fucking they'll be singing. I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah, the two-time champions, nobody's going to get. They didn't fall off a fucking cliff. Let's be honest. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. Poor old Connacht got fucking.
Oh my god.
Was desperate.
They had Bordeaux, was it? I know you wouldn't have seen that.
Yes.
I mean, Bordeaux have a good team, like.
I thought the French teams were on fucking fire this weekend.
They were on fire. And I don't think a lot of people saw it coming. I think Leinster would have seen it coming regardless, because they just have such a stick. You'd have a fair old thorn in your side from fucking La Rochelle now. But like, Jesus Christ, poor old Connacht, who looked like they were trucking nicely in the URC, but fuck.
It's the top 14. I'm telling you, the top 14 is on fire. The top 14, they're taking each other's heads off, and there's like, fucking Toulouse are down, sitting middle bottom of the table, as are La Rochelle. Like, everyone's just going for it in the top 14, and there's so little between the teams. Like, and I really feel like it would probably be another French team that'll win the European Cup, I feel. Did you see Exeter and Lyon? It was Bristol and Lyon. Did you see that game?
No.
Holy shit. That was exciting.
Was it?
Yeah, very good. Like, whatever I saw in the Champions Cup this weekend, apart from the Connacht match, I must say, I thoroughly enjoyed.
The the one that stood out for me, I mean, we'll get back to the Irish province in a minute. The one that stood out for me was Harlequins taking Racing in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, Harlequins are kind of bobbling around in the Premiership. They were doing well in certain games and stuff like that, but I mean, Racing are, Jesus Christ, like,
I love Marcus Smith. I think I'm so delighted for him. I absolutely adore that player.
And Joe Marler still on the go.
He doesn't give a fuck, that fella.
He don't give a fuck. Like, to give him his due, but then again, front row forwards, you can't just get rid of them. Like, they have so much cuteness and nous, as they say. Like, you go, Asher, even if he's 102, put him in there for
his body. How must his body be feeling like? Do you know? He's fucking.
I don't know. The mohawk is gone. I don't know. But that was the one for me that stuck out most of the weekend. And Saracens going down to the Bulls as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes next weekend. So Connacht are going to Saracens next weekend. They'll both be obviously fucking fighting for.
That'd be a sting.
Some sort of redemption. Yeah, but tell me about Munster, because I only watched the highlights because we were playing at the same time.
Yeah, the like that. I was listening to it on the radio up, but I watched it yesterday when I got back down. They hit the ground in spots, very much a start of season looking Munster. They hit the ground in spots, but like people, I hate to. There's reasons for everything, and the reasoning being is that when you're shorn of, like, if you compare that team to what won the URC, I would say there's like maybe 8 that are in the physio's fucking office at the minute. Like, you take Calvin Nash out of it, or sorry, Shane Daly out of it. You start a kid, Shea McCarthy, who was a kid. This is the first ever start. Sean
Yeah.
O'Brien, who's brand new. He's on the wing as well. He gets his head nearly taken off in the first 10 minutes. So the sub out half comes in. What's his name? Is it Ben? No. Oh God, what's his name? Tis Ben. My brain is fucking mush at the minute. The new guy, Ollie Yeager's gone. Tyke Byrne is Peter O'Mahony's gone. Sean Klein is gone. RG Snyman obviously is gone. It like that, but to give beyond there, I think Munster went ahead 14-3, and I think they possibly, I won't say switched off, but it was like, yeah, we got this. Cause when they did turn it on, fuck, they look good. Do you know what I mean? When they did turn it on, but all credit to Bayonne, because they have they had just the bit between their teeth. This is their showcase, their first ever time in the URC or in the European Championship, and they fucking threw the kitchen sink at them.
Yeah.
Now Munster should have closed it out with that try at the very end. That inexperience showed that should have been up the fucking jumper. You know, fucking hitting rocks, hit the deck, hit the rocks, hit the you know what I mean, until till the death. But it had all the signs of a team that blood and new lads for sure, because they fucking had to, because there's so many injuries. But at the same time, they hit the ground in spots where I wouldn't get overly. People were like, "Oh my God, they're maul defense again." Whatever's happened, all teams are targeting their maul defense. Very naive, going in one man at a time rather than locking up into a unit. You know, it seems to be very disjointed, and I don't know if that's down to the serious weight issues in the second row. Do you know what I mean? Edwin Adogbo was injured, he's 125 kegs. John Klein, another 120. They're light enough in the second row, like Fineen Wycherley and Tyke Byrne. Light enough lads, but their maul defense was really something that let them down, as well as their scrum. They're two major bits that if they're going backwards, you know yourself, it's damn near impossible to win a match if they're going backwards. Like, so
yeah,
I wouldn't throw the baby out with the bathwater just yet, because people are like, yes, that's not a script, just like they were at the beginning of the URC last year when Munster lost their first 6 or something. I would be confident enough in the way Mike Prendergast has them. They're at a hyper fit level, like hyper fit. And you can see they are fitter than an awful lot of teams. If you can get a bit more quality back into the spots they should, i.e. Peter O'Mahony, you get Daly back and stuff like that, I think they'll be all right. They'll be fine. You know, they probably got a bit caught out in the cold too, expecting in Thomond to beat fucking Bayonne. But I don't think they were paying an awful lot of attention to, as you said, what's going on in the top 14 at the minute.
Yeah, must be.
So Ulster went down to Bath 37-14, but it doesn't really tell the game. I watched the extended highlights, the 15-minute highlights or whatever, and Ulster look good in spots, but they get fucking it out over into the touchline and stuff, like strange pass and catch pass decisions. Like, some of their interlink play then look great, but then you're kind of going, what? You're killing yourselves here. You know, you make a break and then you just fuck a pass out in front. You know, that's brutal. It wasn't piss and rain. It wasn't, no, that's not what, obviously fucking, that's not what won Bath the game, but shite mistakes where you're kind of going, you shouldn't be fucking doing this. Like, you shouldn't, like, you've better players than this. But I think you're right in what you said about the French teams. From what I saw of the French teams, it's like, but is it sustainable is the question. Is that sustainable, that pace, that energy throughout the fucking top 14, which is just, it's like running with the Bulls of Pamplona for about what seems like about 9 months of a tournament. And then Europe as well. Like, is that sustainable on both fronts?
It has to be, because the competition is so hot.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
a lot of new sugar daddies coming in as well. Like apparently, beyond like that's what's keeping them. That's what's getting them to where they've got to now is just investment. Like
If anybody's wondering what Anna means, she's not suggesting that there's an older gentleman taking out each one of these players on an evening out. Maybe they are, but by sugar daddy she means these billionaire playboys who basically come in and go, "I'll pay all the clubs," and they make no money really, like. But
they just love rugby.
They just love rugby, and there's so many super rich French people. I'd say they probably have more billionaires than any other country. I'd say they're just so super rich. When they're rich, they're really rich in France. And some of them are eccentric sort of fellas, but yeah, I had no idea that. So they're in good root health by the sounds of things.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah, it seems so. And Bordeaux are looking like. I heard a few people say now about Bordeaux that they might. They could be hot to win the top 14. Like that's, that'd be huge as well. Like
Jesus. I mean, well, Bordeaux, they'd kind of gone away for a while, but they were shit hot back in the day. And coincidentally, I don't know, I didn't see any of the Connacht match bar the results, and I was watching a bit on Twitter. But was JJ playing for Connacht? Or did he start? So and he had played with Bordeaux, hadn't he? No, that was Shane Madigan. Did JJ went to Claremont, wasn't it? Sorry, I'm wrong.
Okay, yeah.
Madigan went to Bordeaux Begley for about $500,000 a year. It was an unbelievable contract. But yeah, they had that to give away at the time.
Yeah.
So, did you hear during the? I didn't see it because they're not showing it anywhere, but I read it online. There was a bit of a schmozzle during the Munster Beyond match, and
one of the fans pulled your man out.
Pure Limerick, like pure Thomond. It's like,
do you know what?
You could see it happening though, couldn't you? Like a fan basically just kind of ripped into one of the players, kind of pulling him by the jersey.
He just pulled him out, and then everyone was tweeting like, that's very silly. It's like, yeah, but and then someone tweeted being like, very silly doing that man who could absolutely make pulp out of you or whatever. It's like, he's obviously not going to assault a fan while he's playing. Like, and your man just pulled his jersey. Like, I don't know, people were making an awful song and dance about it.
I loved it. It was like, oh yeah, you really are part of the game now. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because Thomond is quite close to the pitch. I love it. Like, it's part. I'm not saying it should suggest, but in the same way you were getting grief at the weekend, I love that. Like, you know what I mean?
I actually was going to comment on it. We were talking about there a minute ago. I wanted to comment about your man pulling the jersey, saying as in like that's kind of how it felt, but like. Yeah, it's part of it. Like, it's different if you're swinging an arm, but like, and if you're bustling over by the fans, like, it's not the worst thing if one of them tries to pull you back. It wasn't aggressive. I don't know. I just thought it was like everyone needs to calm down a bit. Maybe I'm wrong saying that now, but
so Ulster have Racing at the weekend, as you said. So, well, I mean, in saying that, like Racing went down to the Bulls, so. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. But
La Rochelle were off to fucking South Africa today as well, and like I literally was just like, oh my god, like, I know the kind of thing about bringing South Africa into the European Cup was, made sense in terms of no jet lag because there's no time difference.
Yeah,
but. Being on a flight for that long gives you jet lag. I don't care what anyone says.
Of course it does.
It absolutely wrecks you. I don't think it's the best idea. I actually think that there shouldn't be any South African teams in. And that's coming from how I feel after my trip to South Africa.
A lovely trip to South Africa that you had. Yeah. But
it took me a week to recover. And it's not just, they used to kind of go down and do the whole 2-week thing and probably balance it a bit more. But going down there for a week for one match, and having huge fixtures either side, like there's no time off. I think it's ridiculously demanding for the players. I think it makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, you really want to catch one of these teams immediately after they've just come back from South Africa, don't you? Like, just because,
yeah.
100%.
And that can be part of it, but also South Africa's not in Europe. Sorry, I don't want to sound mean saying that now because I do love the South African teams. I'm just thinking of player welfare. Like, honestly, I couldn't have felt more sorry for the La Rochelle players going off to fucking South Africa today.
Yeah, it's fair old stretch, like all the same. Just you play your whole off. You're in bits Sunday, Monday you're probably in bits as well. And they're like, oh, by the way, this evening we're jumping on a fucking flight so you can go play down in South Africa. Yeah, rough.
They'd be like an overnight flight, so you'll have essentially missed a night of sleep because you're not going to sleep.
Jesus, Leinster play Sale at the weekend. Yeah, I don't know how Sale are going at the minute. But all will tell, I suppose, what way Leinster are kind of trucking. Was it a big? I don't know what Leinster what they want from Frawley. Like, I don't know what do they know what they want? Because they're still trucking the old Harry Byrne thing. They're starting Harry Byrne
Just need to let Kieran Frawley at it for a while.
I think so. I think like Andy Dunn, who does listen to our podcast, I ran into him. He's News Talk Andy Dunn. I ran into him at Junction 14, as I tend to often, strangely enough. But he was saying, sure, how do you expect Frawley to get any good? How do you sure, he says like Johnny Sexton wouldn't play like Johnny Sexton if every 6 months you let him have 40 minutes at number 10. He says he'd be all over the fucking map as well. Like the fact that this lad can pull it together when he is thrown in there with 22 on his back, or
I think the problem is that because we had this problem in Ireland, like with our out half situation, and I think it's happening to the men now because we've been so spoilt. Literally since the 2000s, we've had a world class number 10 since the early 2000s. Like, and Raj was pushed out by someone who was world class. So, to have 2 consecutive world class number 10s. So what provinces are looking for now is this kind of ready-made product, and there's no patience for any young player to form themselves and do their thing because we've been so spoilt.
Yes.
So let them make the mistakes and don't take them out if they fuck it up. They have to go through that. Like, pick your fucking 10 and let them stick at it for a little while. So
yeah, I think you're right, and I think I think the way it's kind of sitting for Jack Crowley at the minute, because he has no competition, because Joey Carberry's out injured, poor old Joey again, and he'll only thrive fucking up and doing well and fucking up, So, and I think they've given him a license because he's pulling off field kicks and everything,
Yeah.
But and that'll probably benefit him in the longer. But Connacht Saracens, I'm not asking you any predictions on any of these. You wouldn't know. Connacht could come out and fucking throw the kitchen sink at him and go, fuck this anyway.
Yeah.
Which would be amazing to see it happen. But
yeah,
it is.
They did say that, like I did, because obviously I was just kind of doing a bit of reading and stuff, in prep for next week. But like your man, Wilkins, did say that he was excited that they couldn't have been in a better spot for the week because they basically kind of have nothing to lose, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And that's how they're taking on the week. So if that's genuinely how they've done it, then I think what you've said could happen.
I'd love it. I mean, I think they're all our second team if you're not actually from Connacht, because maybe it's the little brother thing, like, or whatever, but they seem to stand for the right stuff. That kind of way. Fuck me, it's hard playing over in Connacht. Like, everything's sideways. It's rainy.
Yeah.
It's
literally everyone I've ever spoken to who's been there was pissed on.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely pissed on. Actually, someone was saying to me today, it was Nico, the owner of the bar, was saying that he was at a match in Sports Ground years ago, and he thought it was gas because they were all like kicked out because the dogs were on after.
Yeah.
And he was saying that
it
was some French team, and all the French were like, what's going on? Because they don't have dogs here. Like, they don't have, dog racing, greyhound racing. And I was like, wouldn't it be great if, like, Connacht did joint events, like, that you'd go to the rugby match and then you'd stay on afterwards and go to
for the dogs. Yeah, brilliant night. Yeah, great night.
Glad. Great crack. Guess. I don't know what the fuck I was trying to say there.
Yeah. But they're
anyway,
actually
you're under pressure. Do you need to hop on your motorcycle and tear away?
I do. I have another podcast again in a minute. Motorcycle, and Munster have Exeter at the weekend.
Sorry. Yes, Munster.
Yeah. After the draw at the weekend, I'd say they'd be sour enough. I would imagine it'd be interesting to see what team they're able to put out, but I'd imagine They'd be sour enough
Exeter
now.
aren't fucking around either now. Do you know? They
No.
were fucking good yesterday, the day before, whatever day they played. Yeah. That'll be tough. That'll
Yeah.
be tough. But similar to Connacht, it's like any team coming off the back of a disappointment like that. It could turn anything, on its heel.
But the interesting thing about it's only done when I was listening to it on the radio, they were talking about how Munster are playing now with Mike Prendergast pulling the strings, like when at the attack. When you think back to like 2 years ago when it was because it was just box kick after box kick after box kick, boring shite. And now they're running it like French teams. They're running it from fucking everywhere, and everybody seems to have a license. But I'm very excited. Not that I was surprised. He didn't get your man Alex Nankerville. He's a different gravy. He's a different gravy. And when Anton Frisch was also injured, when he's on, when the two of them click, typically Munster, when they do well with two good centres, any team, I'm sure, but from watching it from years, they have now got a proper 12 in that Nankerville fella. Like he knows that he goes for that extra yard. His ball presentation is amazing for whatchamacallit. And I mean, they started Conor Murray, who does have old school nous and all the rest of it, but I don't know, Craig Casey's been playing some unbelievable. He's more French than he is anything, like the way he speed a ball from the ground. So it'll be interesting to see who the teams, Munster, who are just shorn of so many, who they started before the weekend. But it was good more than anything to find out that all's well that ends well, and it'll be interesting to see who. We'll follow up in part 2 of the jacket and
fucking Gloucester jacket. Jesus Christ.
Fucking Gloucester jacket. This is this episode is definitely going to be titled the brush that broke the camel's back.
The toothbrush that broke the camel's back.
Absolutely perfect. Right. Have you any more contributions? And we will be back because it's going to be a very, very interesting weekend of European. And if nothing else, even if the rugby European Cup is stopped at the weekend, I can promise you Anna will have some drama for us by next week.
Jesus Christ. Do not bring that on me. I've had enough for 2023. Genuinely, every week I've been
every week.
But tell them tell the listeners what I said in today's voice note.
Was it literally? Where's my phone? It's this fucking week. Basically started off with this fucking week. I just feel I need to do the podcast as therapy. As therapy now, Tom.
Yeah. I was like, let's record the podcast because I need a therapy session.
Even if I didn't hit record, lads, I'd say, and it just would have ran. She just would have ran with it. Just been all right. That's
happened before as well. Before we've hit record, we've had half the rants out.
Half our rants out the door. Brilliant.
So,
okay.
I'm praying for next week when we start the podcast and you're like, Anna, have you any news? I'll just be like, no, not at all.
Not at all.
Even though I know that's not true because I have to go to Dublin next weekend. So
oddly, I'm going to Ballylicky next Friday, but I'm in Belfast on. But anyway, either way, you're Belfast on Wednesday and Thursday, but both shows are sold out, so there's no point. Which is tremendous. But the 29th, I have a ticket set aside for you for the 29th of December if you are home. For the comedy club in Care. Right. Either way, stay safe and mind your pockets and mind your jackets. Till next week. Good luck.
It's the Banana and Bears Rugby Pod.